It's 8:15 on a Tuesday morning, and you're standing outside your apartment with your phone in your hand, watching a small car icon crawl toward you on a map. $6. 11 minutes away by foot, 4 minutes by car. You don't think about it. Nobody thinks about it. $6 is the price of not walking 11 minutes. The car pulls up, you get in, you're at your desk before your coffee's even cold. By tomorrow, you won't remember this ride happened. That's the whole point of $6. It's small enough to disappear without leaving a mark. Now hold that $6 in your mind, because this is a story about the same $6, almost every weekday, for 35 years. And about the two different people it quietly decides you'll become. You're 24. Same morning, same app open on your phone. This time you close it. You walk the 11 minutes instead, and somewhere around the halfway point you open a different app, the one you downloaded last night on a whim. You move $6 into an index fund. One button. No opinion required. The balance says $6. It looks like nothing. It looks like a joke version of a bank account. You feel a little ridiculous, like you're planting one seed and calling it a garden. There's no thrill in it, no number to scratch off, just $6 sitting in something that owns a piece of nearly every big company on the planet. You do it again the next morning, and the one after that. You automate it so you never have to feel the decision happen. So the money's gone before it can turn into a ride, a snack, a little wrapper of convenience. About $130 a month leaves your account towards something you can't touch. You barely notice. That was always the strange part. The money was leaving either way. You just changed where it went. You're 26. The balance reads $3,400. You put in about $3,150 yourself. The market quietly added the rest while you were doing literally anything else. You mention it to a friend from high school you're catching up with over dinner, the kind of friend you see twice a year and somehow tell everything to. He asks how much you've made. You tell him. He laughs, not meanly, just honestly. I make that in a weekend, he says. He's not wrong. He still takes the car every morning, orders in most nights, just minted an NFT of a cartoon fox because his coworker doubled his money on one last month. You say nothing. You just remember this conversation. You're 30, 6 years in. The balance is around $14,000. You've contributed roughly $11,300. The rest showed up out of time itself. Interest earning interest, quietly while you slept. That same year, your high school friend texts you a screenshot. His Fox NFT, up 600% in a week. He tells you your boring fund makes in a year what his JPEG made before lunch. He's right about the speed. He's wrong about the direction. You've seen this shape before. The promise that small becomes large instantly with nothing in between. 4 months later, the Fox is worth $11 and he's stopped mentioning it. You keep taking the walk. You're 35, 11 years. The balance sits around $41,000, and you've put in about $20,700 of it. Meaning, for the first time, the market has handed you more than you ever fed it. That's also the year everything drops. Headlines start using the word crash. Your balance falls by a third in 6 weeks. Your friend, who moved to cash right before the bottom, tells you he saw it coming. You don't sell. It's quieter than a decision, really. You just don't open the app for a while. The $130 a month keeps leaving anyway, buying more of the fund while it's cheaper than it's been in a decade. You're not being brave. You're just distracted enough to do nothing, and doing nothing turns out to be the rarest skill in the entire subject of money. You're 45, 21 years of walking 11 minutes instead of riding 4. The balance is $198,000. You've contributed about $32,700 across 2 decades. The rest is growth, working a second job you never technically hired. You run into your friend at a mutual acquaintance's wedding. He pulls up in a car that costs more than he makes in a year. He asks, half joking, if you're still doing that walking thing. You tell him you never stopped. He asks how much is in there now. You tell him. The table goes quiet in a way you didn't ask for. You're 59, 35 years since the morning you didn't call the car. The balance is $612,000. Break down the number because it's the whole story in 2 figures. Of that, what you actually put in, $6 at a time, weekday mornings, for 35 years, comes to about $54,600. The other $557,000 is growth. Money you never earned an hour for, never watched arrive, never noticed leaving. You didn't get lucky. You didn't call a market top or catch a trend early. You skipped a 4-minute car ride roughly 9,000 times and let the smallest possible amount sit in the most boring possible place for the longest possible time. That's the whole mechanism. There's no faster version of this where someone hands you the $557,000 sooner. The slowness was the entry fee, and almost nobody wants to pay a fee that takes 35 years to clear. Your friend retires the same year you do. Same industry, similar salary the whole way through. He has 35 years of quick rides and good meals he mostly can't recall, and a modest pension. You have those same small comforts mostly, and also $600,000 sitting behind your life like a second income that's been quietly working the entire time nobody was watching. Nobody can point to the exact day the two of you split apart. There wasn't one. There were just a few thousand identical mornings, the same small question asked again and again, until the answers stopped being choices and quietly became two different lives. Somewhere right now, it's 8:15 on a Tuesday morning, and someone is standing outside their door with their phone in their hand, watching a small car crawl toward them on a map. They're not doing anything wrong. $6 is nothing. That's always been the trap in the door in the same breath. It's too small to matter, which is exactly why almost no one keeps it. And exactly why, for the few who do, it quietly decides everything.